Deep in the heart of a tropical rainforest, a river breathes with life. Before the rains came hard, this was a place of stillness, of green light filtering through ancient canopy. Here, along the muddy banks, a family of smooth-coated otters has made their home. A mother, scarred from old battles, watches over her only pup. He is barely 3 months old, small, clumsy, endlessly curious. This is his world, the water, the mud, his mother's side. Every morning begins the same way, with her gentle nudge waking him into another day of learning. The river is his classroom, the currents his first lesson in survival. He does not yet know how dangerous this water can become. For now, there is only play, warmth, and his mother's watchful eyes. The rainforest hums around them, birdsong, dripping leaves, the distant rumble of something larger stirring. But today, none of that matters. Today is for learning to swim. She slips into the water first, calling him with a soft chirping sound. He hesitates at the edge, small paws gripping wet stone. Then, with a splash, he follows her into the current.
In the shallows, she teaches him to dive. He struggles at first, tumbling clumsily beneath the surface. She circles back, nudging him upward with her nose. Again and again he tries, and again she is there to catch him. This is how trust is built, not through words, but through repetition. Slowly, his small body begins to understand the rhythm of the water. He learns to hold his breath, to paddle with purpose, to follow her wake. Between lessons, they rest on a sunlit log, fur drying in patches of light. He presses close to her side, completely dependent, utterly safe. She grooms his fur with careful precision, removing mud and tangles. In these quiet moments, the bond between them deepens. He chirps softly, a sound reserved only for her. She answers with the same call, a private language of love. For now, the rainforest shelters them. For now, they are untouchable. But far upstream, dark clouds are gathering, clouds that do not yet concern a mother and her pup.
Days pass, and the pup grows bolder. He begins exploring small pools on his own, testing the limits of his courage. He catches his first small fish, clumsy but triumphant. His mother watches from a distance, allowing him this victory. Confidence blooms in him like the first bloom after rain. He chases dragonflies along the bank, tail flicking with excitement. He dives deeper now, lingering longer beneath the surface. The other otters of the family group accept him fully, a true member of the river clan. Yet his mother never fully looks away. Her eyes carry the weight of experience. She has seen rivers rise before. She knows what the sky can become. Above the canopy, clouds begin to thicken, heavier, darker, more deliberate. The air grows humid, charged with an electricity only nature can sense. Insects fall silent. Birds shift their calls into something more urgent. The pup notices none of this. He is too busy living. But the rainforest itself seems to inhale, bracing for what comes next.
That evening, the family gathers on a favorite sandbar. The pup nestles against his mother's chest, full and sleepy. Around them, fireflies begin to flicker in the deepening dusk. She licks the top of his head, a final, tender gesture before sleep. The river moves gently here, almost lazily, as if nothing could disturb it. For one more night, the world feels infinite and safe. Rain begins to fall, soft at first, a familiar lullaby on the leaves. The pup drifts to sleep curled against her warmth. She remains awake a moment longer, watching the rain intensify. Something in the rhythm of the storm feels different tonight.
By midnight, the rain becomes relentless. Water levels along the riverbank begin to rise inch by inch. The current, once gentle, now churns with new urgency. Debris, broken branches, torn leaves begins drifting downstream. The mother stirs first, ears alert to a change in the river's voice. She nudges the pup awake, instinct overriding his exhaustion. He blinks groggily, unaware of the danger gathering around them. The sandbar, once safe, now trembles with the pull of rising water. She begins moving him toward higher ground, urgency in every motion. But the rain shows no mercy, falling harder with every passing minute. The river has transformed, wild, brown, and merciless. Trees that once stood firm now sway against the force of rushing water. The mother grips the pup's scruff gently, guiding him through the current. A sudden surge slams against them, breaking her hold for one terrifying second. The pup is swept sideways, small paws flailing against the overwhelming force. She lunges after him, but the current pulls him further from reach. Branches crash past them, narrowly missing his small body. His cries grow desperate, swallowed by the roar of the flood. She fights against the current with everything she has, but the distance between them widens with every passing breath. The pup is dragged downstream, spinning through debris and churning water. He claws toward a fallen branch, clinging on with the last of his strength. The branch lodges against a muddy bank, momentary but fragile safety. Exhausted, he drags himself onto the mud, gasping, alone for the first time in his life. Nearby, unseen eyes shift in the darkness. A monitor lizard, displaced by the same flood, emerges from the swollen reeds. Its yellow eyes catch the movement of the trembling pup. Slowly, deliberately, it begins to advance through the mud. The pup, too weak to flee, presses against the slick earth. Meanwhile, upstream, the mother fights against the current, calling out into the storm. Her voice is desperate, raw, searching through the chaos for any sign of him. The lizard closes the distance, jaws beginning to part. In the final instant, a surge of floodwater crashes between them, sweeping the pup away again, narrowly out of reach of those waiting jaws. The pup vanishes beneath the surface, swallowed by darkness and rain. Seconds stretch into unbearable silence. The mother reaches the spot only moments later, scanning the wreckage of branches and debris. There is no sign of him, only water, only rain. For the first time, her desperate calls go unanswered. The rainforest, vast and indifferent, offers no comfort. Downstream, caught in a quiet eddy beneath a fallen log, a small shape stirs. The pup breaks the surface, coughing, trembling, but alive. He drags himself onto a muddy ledge, collapsing in exhaustion. Through the rain, a familiar chirp cuts through the storm. He lifts his head, and there she is, moving toward him through the shallows. She reaches him at last, pulling him close against her soaked fur. The rain begins to soften, the river's fury slowly easing. Mother and pup remain pressed together, sharing warmth against the fading storm. By morning, the first light breaks through the clearing clouds. The flood recedes, leaving behind a changed but surviving world. The pup, still trembling, finds strength in her familiar warmth. Together, they make their way back toward higher ground, toward home. The rainforest, though scarred by the storm, begins to breathe again. And in this fragile new morning, a mother and her pup remind us, survival is never guaranteed, but love against impossible odds endures.